click the link in the description for your free AMSOIL catalog. Before we get started, I'd like to give a quick shout out to some of our friends. The Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. Search for them on Facebook. Central Minnesota Pond Racing. Search for them on Facebook. The historic Lancaster Motel for the ultimate Eastern trail riding adventure. Crane's Snowmobile Museum at 172 Main Street in Lancaster, New Hampshire. The Vintage Snowmobile Club of America Quarterly Magazine. The New Hampshire Snowmobile Museum at Bear Brook State Park in Allenstown, New Hampshire. And lastly, if you decide to advertise with the Vintage Snowmobile Podcast, this could be your advertising message. Good evening and welcome to the podcast. I'm really glad you're here. I have a robust lineup of vintage snowmobile entertainment on tap for you tonight. But before we get into all of that, I want to make sure that everything is working properly. So if you can see my face and hear my voice, I'm going to ask you to leave a comment. Please let me know where you're viewing this from and whether you are a first-time viewer or a regular viewer. Now, to our first-time viewers, if this is your first time hanging out with us tonight, I hope you have a good time with us, and I hope you decide to join us here each and every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. This podcast simulcasts to 8 different places across Facebook and YouTube. So wherever you're viewing this, just circle back here in 1 week's time, and we'll be here waiting for you with another episode. Now, to our regular viewers who are here week after week, month after month, and season after season, you guys are the ones who make this possible, and we really appreciate that. We do have comments coming in. Let's take a couple quick comments here, and we'll bring Rob on and get things started. We've got Rich Farrand on in the house tonight. He's saying cool with the sunglasses. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Our good friend David at Alaska Railroad, regular viewer. He's saying, good evening, Mike and podcast members. Sounds and looks good. Well, thank you. We appreciate that feedback. Kevin Culhane, regular viewer, says loud and clear from Sudbury, Ontario. Thank you so much. James Whiteside says loud and clear in Illinois. Thank you so much. My good friend John Spranger Jr. says sounding good. Appreciate that, John. We're working on getting John and his brother on the podcast here sometime in the not too distant future. Spencer DeLubrier, loud and clear. Good to be back. Spencer, do me a favor if you would. In a comment, leave me the name of that podcast you're doing. I'd like to give that a shout out and a plug while we're doing the podcast here. Also, our good friend Reese Fleury says loud and clear, regular viewer, Tupper Lake, New York. Appreciate that. Let's see. Someone on Facebook is saying loud and clear, regular viewer. Jim McCrae says hello. Robert Moran from Myrtle Beach, formerly from Massachusetts. Cool deal. Thank you for checking in. We appreciate that. Dave Lowry says hello, Mike from Alberta, Canada, coming in loud and clear. Dominic Kane, who's been on this podcast before, says hello from Michigan. And Jim McCrae is also saying loud and clear from Ontario, Canada. Outstanding. Well, cool. Let me switch gears here, and we'll bring Rob on and get this party in full gear here. Rob, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. And yourself, Mike?
Good. Great to see you as always. Cool deal. So I think when we spoke yesterday, I think you were saying you've seen a little snow there in Ontario already.
Oh, just 10 days ago, we were 80 degrees, and then come the weekend, we seen snow on the ground in the morning. It was gone by noon hour, but winter is coming.
It won't be long.
Yeah, and next weekend, we have our big Toronto International Snowmobile Show.
Yes, do a shameless plug for that if you would.
It's one of the biggest shows in Canada. It's up by the airport right on Toronto. All the manufacturers there. It's snowmobiles and ATVs. So it's everything all in one building. If you're going to be at the show, make sure you stop around the AMSOIL booth and say hello to me and tell me you've seen us on the broadcast.
Please do, yes.
And if you do, I'll give you a free hat.
Wonderful. Yeah, I appreciate you doing that, Rob. Yeah, you definitely want to look up Rob if you're at that show for sure. And if I'm understanding that correctly, that's modern and vintage snowmobiles, correct?
All the vintage racers have a great big display there, and then
Okay.
the vintage club has a great big display there, and the snowcross has a big display there. So there's racing, vintage, and new stuff there, and all the aftermarket companies are all there too. So it's a pretty decent show.
Yeah, something for
It's
everybody.
something that takes 4 hours to go through to see. It's not a little show.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's a show to see for sure. Cool deal. Well, let's see. Let's take a look at the menu here. We're on item number 1. We're going to take a look at some footage I got this past February at Crane's Snowmobile Show in Lancaster, New Hampshire. Let me get that queued up here. You ready with that Jeopardy music in case this takes a while to load?
No, I'm not ready with it yet.
Let's see. Hopefully we won't need it, but at least we've got that Jeopardy music standing by. Oh, I guess we won't need it. Here we go. Yeah, that's Paul Crane over there in the green coat. Catch up with him in a little while. Got a cool old Panther, probably 71, 72, I'm thinking, with a cutter. Oh man, it is cold. That wind is raw. Oh, another Panther too. It's probably 73 or 74 maybe. Oh, purple power lube. Roto lube. Hey, good. How are you? Are these yours?
These are.
Cool, yeah. You feel like talking them up on camera?
Yeah, no problem.
Just see what my name is and then just talk them up?
Yeah, this is that's a 96 Thundercat.
Yeah.
It got 670 miles on it.
Wow.
Original.
Yeah.
These are all factory out of cat skis and stuff. Back in the day, they had options and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the ski loops, the skis. The handle grips.
Yeah.
The little side piece, the brake lever and stuff like that. Yeah, that's a 68 Panther right there.
68 Panther. Wow.
Single cylinder.
Yeah.
300 horse motor in it.
300 Hertz, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Only thing been done, the hood been painted a little bit on it, but we buffed it out and cleaned it up some.
Nice. I like that plate.
Yeah.
68 cat.
Well, I
that's
got
very
that. Yeah, this one joke. I actually, when I put it on my trail, it was because of that.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And so I did put it on that. Yeah. So 55 years old now.
That's amazing, huh?
So, yeah.
And that leopard print looks real nice too, huh?
Yeah.
That looks really nice.
Yeah, this been in a trailer for I say at least 12 years.
Really?
We took
12
it.
years.
We just took it out, cleaned it all up. Then I had a bunch of accessories, like the skis and this and that. So we just put a few things on it, just dress it up a little bit.
Yeah. Let's see, and then your name is Frank Edmondson from Gorham, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Cool deal. I want to come around this side and get it. Oh, and you got the pizza cutter things
Pizza
on there.
cutters too.
Yeah. Those are cool.
And that's the original hat for the snowmobile too.
Oh, under the
hood
thing
there.
Yeah.
Back in 96.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Very
pizza
cool.
cutters.
That's a nice shape.
I don't know if you knew before the runners come out. That's what they had.
Before they had
pizza cutters.
carbines, yeah, to give them a bite in the corner.
And I'm not 100% sure, but I was told many years ago, Snowjet is actually the one that comes out with the sliders.
Really?
How true that is, I don't know, but that's what I heard.
Interesting.
And like when the circle tracks,
Yeah.
it was all ice, so that's what they put the pizza cutters on.
Give 'em an edge in the corner.
When they got the groove and stuff going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing back in the day.
That's a great idea.
And as you can see, no shocks or nothing in it.
Sure. Wow.
All rough riding.
Yeah, just that leaf spring.
Yeah. The little single cylinder.
Yeah.
And when it starts up, it's pat, 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 you know what I mean? It sounds pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Oh, and I've got this for you for doing this with me. And are you with this guy here?
Yeah,
I'm going to give you two. One for you, one for him.
Oh, thank you.
Got a free DVD and an Amsoil catalog. Yeah, if you can give him one.
I will.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it. Nice meeting you, man. Thanks for talking these up. Cool. Now we've got Ray Parento's drops here. We're going to be talking these up in a little while. We're going to catch up with him and get him to talk these up. I think I saw on Facebook that he got a new sled recently. Not new, but new to him. This might be it here, actually. 76 Merc. Snow Twister. So I think he had a trail twister and he sold it. But there we go. This is probably what, 73, 74 maybe? A 440 Harley? 73 Harley Davidson, owned by Bob Chaplin. Cool deal. Got a little ski-doo going by. How's it going? And what is this? It looks like a Snowjet hood, but I don't know. This is a 74 Yamaha owned by Neil Cedarbear. Okay. I was thinking this tunnel looked kind of like a snow jet, but no. That's a Yamaha. Cool. Let's go down this aisle here. How's it going?
How are you?
Good. Enjoying these tropical breezes?
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Crazy, huh? Do you have sleds here?
Yeah, we rode it on new ones.
Oh, nice. Sweet.
We got a bunch of old ones, but
Sweet.
Yeah, we were gonna bring one today and decided not to.
Sure.
Should have brought it, but we didn't. So.
What would that have been?
88 Indy 650.
Yeah, sweet. Polaris.
Yeah. So,
Sweet.
yeah, you got first place at the Iron
Yeah.
Bond Show last year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he's gonna bring it. Decided
The
not to.
unrestored that
Yeah.
year class.
Nice.
It's in good shape. He rode it. He rode it when he was a kid. It was
Yeah.
my wife's sled.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Let's get some history to it. Family history.
Yeah, we sold it, and I ended up getting it back from the person we sold it to because we knew the person and
Yeah.
got it back. It doesn't run great, but it's a work in progress.
Nice. I want to make sure you both. You want to be on camera?
Sure.
Cool. Yeah. And what were your names?
I'm Justin. He's Bill.
Cool. Father and son.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, we have a Camp and Grampy we rode over on the two sleds. So.
Nice. The sleds right over
Newer
there.
ones.
Yeah.
Nice.
Luxurious models.
Yeah. Yeah. Compared to these.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've come a long way, haven't they?
Yeah.
I
Crazy.
like riding these things.
Oh, for sure. A lot of history.
Yep.
Well, I've got something for you for coming on camera.
Sure.
Get two of these here. Yeah, free DVD and an AMSOIL catalog.
Oh, great.
One for each of you there.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate you being on camera.
Cool. Thanks for having us.
Cool deal. We'll catch up with you guys inside.
We just came from there.
Yeah,
It's like where we're going to rip to now.
Oh, cool. Back to the trails?
Back to the
Yeah,
trails.
Sweet.
Can't waste a day, no, you know?
No, it's too nice.
Winter's too short.
Yes.
Make
Cool.
the most of it while we can.
Yeah. Nice meeting you guys.
Nice meeting you.
Good riding.
Thank you.
Very cool. So yeah, there you have it. Crane's Snowmobile Museum, where he has his vintage snowmobile show every February, usually the first Saturday in February. Now, typically there were probably 3 or 4 times as many sleds there, but it was probably around 20 below zero that day, and I think it was only the diehards that came. But as you were reviewing that, Rob, anything jump out at you?
That's the first thing I heard about the pizza cutters. I've never heard that story before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Let me see if I can get that back on the screen here. Yeah, I guess before they had carbides, that was their solution to get some good bite on an oval track.
Yep. My dad used to take my old hockey skates and cut the skates and weld them on the bottom.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, and he had the device to sharpen the skates. So every Saturday he'd pull the skis off and sharpen them and put it back on. And
Get an edge on them.
yeah,
Very cool. Very cool. And I have to
So-
give a shameless. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
he always warned us, don't ever run over anybody with the skis.
Yeah, slice them open. Yeah, for sure. And I have to give a shameless plug. That's one of the better shows that I go to anyway, as far as northern Vermont and New Hampshire, is the Crane Snowmobile Show. It's right there at Crane's Snowmobile Museum. That building you see behind there, he's got over 100 sleds in there. That building is 50 by 100 feet, and he's got a voluminous collection in there. And then, of course, all the exhibitors come and line up their sleds in front. And as I said, there's usually 3 or 4 times as many sleds. It's a wonderful show, very much worth attending. It's usually the first Saturday in February, right there at Crane's Snowmobile Museum, 172 Main Street in Lancaster, New Hampshire. Very much worth a trip if you like snowmobile shows and if you're in that area, that part of New Hampshire.
That did sound like it was cold. We could hear the snow on the bottom of your shoes walking around.
Yes, for sure. For sure. Oh, we've got comments aplenty coming in here too. Let's take a look here. We've got let me find my place. Okay, here we go. So we've got David from Alaska Railroad saying good evening to Rob.
Hi, Dave.
And then we've got Cecil D. Fossil saying Butch Fossil and Team Massey from Kennedy, Minnesota. Nice to see a new season of the podcast starting. Well, thank you. We appreciate your viewing and being in the house with us tonight. And then, of course, our good friend Josh Leverker is saying hello. We're hoping to have him on the podcast sometime in the near future. And then we were mentioning Spencer DeLabriere. He's got a new podcast, which is really nice. It's a little bit more leaning toward the modern sleds, but there's some vintage stuff in there too. It's called the Carbide Podcast, and he's going to email me links. There's a new episode happening next week with Oval legend Jim Dimmerman. Yeah, so be sure and check that out. It's on what is it, Apple Play or something? If Yeah, if you can give us any more detail of how people can find that, um, yeah, that would be wonderful, Spencer. And maybe I'd like to have you on here some week to talk that up and promote it. Then we have our friend Brian Van Haverbeek, regular viewer from Mount Bridges. Good to see you. Good to see us back. Oh, and Brian, I'm going to do this just for you. There were some kitty cats all in a row. I know he loves the kitty cats. I'm trying to stop it on there. But the other side of that thunder cat, there's 2 or 3 kitty cats all lined up, and you see that one on the right there. There's a couple of more, but I'm having a hard time with this. This interface is kind of choking on me, so it's really difficult to do this accurately. But hopefully, Brian, you saw those kitty cats. Then we also have James Whiteside saying, "Hey, Rob, if you see MJ Thompson at the Ski-Doo trailer, tell her Mike Whiteside says hello."
Okay.
Cool deal. And then Dirk Seams is here. He's in the house from Minnesota. Dirk has shared video footage with us many times, and hopefully he'll be doing more of that this winter at some of the shows he's attending. It's always a good time to see those. David from Alaska Railroad says, Ray sure has some amazing sleds. Love those snow twisters and the Rupp Magnums. Absolutely. Ray has a very impressive collection. Let's see if I can get over toward that.
He does have some nice snowmobiles, doesn't he?
Oh, he sure does. And they're all he gets them all, looking just like new. There they are right there, that Merc and those Rupps. Yeah, impressive sleds. He's got an impressive collection. And the nice thing is he's just maybe 15 or 20 minutes from where I live, and I've been up to his place many times to do video. These sleds have all been featured on the podcast over the years. Yeah. Oh, and Dominic Kane says I would love to get a rear engine sled. Absolutely. There's a good collection there today. Those sleds, let me see if I can get over toward those.
Did you notice what was in the back of the caboose of one of them?
Those antlers? That big moose antler?
It looked like moose antlers.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
And a little later in this, see the guy with the tan pants, he was talking to somebody. I know him pretty well. That's Aaron Selly. And a little later, not in this clip, but a few minutes after I did this, I had a conversation with him. He's a good friend, and he and his brother, his father, and I think some of the grandchildren have a serious collection of the early sleds like this. They have some rear engine sleds, and they have some of these, like these early cats. That most of that is the Selly collection, and I'd like to have him on sometime. He pops in once in a while on the podcast, but he has a very impressive collection. And on another episode, I'll play that interview that I had with him. But yeah, he's always fun to see at these shows. And our good friend Mark Gasso says, hello, guys. Looking forward to another season. Thank you so much. Great to have you in the house. And then we've got someone on Facebook saying, great to see the Vintage Podcast. Very much appreciate that. Steve Woodward says, vintage sleds rock. They do. They rock and they roll. Absolutely. And Jim Holbrook says, I was at that show and had lunch with you. Yes, I remember that. Yeah, inside there at the little snack bar. Absolutely. And I appreciate you checking in. I appreciate you being on here. Greg Martin says, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening back. Oh, here we go. Spencer DeLabriere says Apple Podcasts and Spotify. That is where you can find that Carbide podcast. So search for it on there if you would. Also, our good friend Darren Lumby, who is a regular contributor financially to this podcast, which we very, very much appreciate that. There's a link in the description it's called a virtual tip jar, and he leaves us a virtual tip every month, and we very much appreciate that. Darren says, you guys are getting me ramped up for the snow, and I love it. Thank you. And we thank you so much, Darren. We really appreciate that. Well, cool. So let's remove this, and it's time for item number 2. Rob is going to talk to us about Amsoil. And if you're ready, Rob, I'm going to put you full screen, and
Sure.
It's all yours. Take it away.
Every month we talk a little bit about the Amsoil products and how you can buy it as a preferred customer. It costs you $10 for 6 months. If you want information about being a preferred customer, Mike has a link you can click on. You get the free catalog. It tells you all about the product, and we don't hide the prices. We put the price right in there. How much a case is and how much it retails for and what your price is as a preferred customer. You save almost $50 on a case, but every month they have a special. So this month, if you order $49 or more, you get a free can of metal protector. It's a product Amsoil's had out for over 40 years. You It came out at first for loosening bolts and all that, but I use it has silicone in it, so I use it for the ignition wires and stuff like that. A lot of times with the snowmobiles, we end up crossing water. Not that we want to, but there'd be water on the trail, so it stops it from shorting out. I use it on the sliders. I use it on my clutches. I have an old cabin up in the woods, and it's 80 below. Not 80, it's 30 below in the wintertime up there, and the windows, wooden windows, just don't open. I spray the wood with that, and the windows slide open and close real nice. It has 101 uses. I have a guy that professionally builds vintage cars, and if you got to ask the price what it costs to get done, you can't afford to have him do your work. But he likes our product because all the other products, when he sprays it on a bolt and it loosens the bolt, a year later when he's putting that car back together, the bolt is rustier than it was before. He likes our product because it does loosen the bolts like it says on the package, but a year later when he gets that bolt, it still has an oil coating on it and it's no rustier than it was before. So it's an all-purpose product for loosening bolts, lubricating, and 101 uses. So if you order $49 worth of AMSOIL, you get that can free this month.
In fact, here's a graphic to support that.
Yeah, October 11th to October 24th is that promotion on. You order $100 worth of product, you get it shipped right to your door free. And for $10, you become a preferred customer, you save 25%. And Mike has a link you can click right on to learn more information all about it.
Absolutely. In fact, if this has got you in the mood to do some AMSOIL shopping, click the link for the preferred customer program in the description. That'll take you to that preferred customer page. It's just a couple of clicks to sign up for it and then start shopping. And having done that, sign up for the preferred customer program. Anything that you select and add to your cart will come in the cart at the deepest level of discount. And once you hit $100, you'll get free shipping. And then they're also eligible at the $49 mark for your free can of the metal protector, which is amazing stuff. I've got a few cans of that myself. It's wonderful. I use it on latches, locks, hinges, anything that moves. It's wonderful.
I use it on the rubbers around the doors, stop them from freezing up in the wintertime. 101 uses.
For sure. For sure. Well, cool. Yeah. Thank you so much, Rob. We appreciate that. And now we're on item number 3. A few things to say about this clip. This is a clip that I did last winter at the Newport Center, Vermont Snowmobile Show. Now, I have to apologize a little bit on the front end with this because the image quality is not the best. I like to go live when I can from these shows. And this show, I've got maybe kind of not quite as good of a signal as I'd like. So the way that manifests itself is it compromises the image quality a little bit. But I like going live at these shows where I can approach people and interview them. And so this is an interview with my good friend, Mark Bristol. And in fact, the other thing I wanted to mention about this, last week when we were looking at that footage and those images from the Pittsburgh, New Hampshire show, we had this sled here. This is that prototype Snowjet SST from 1976. In this video clip, Mark is going to tell us the backstory on that. So let me cue that up and let's take a look. It turns out we need it too. Keep it rolling, don't stop. Yeah, sometimes the video clips hang and we have to wait a minute. Oh yeah, it tells me it failed, so I need to load it again. Let's try it. There we go.
Tradition of putting on a vintage snowmobile show every winter. Hopefully they'll just keep doing this year after year after year, and if they do, I'll be around. I'll tell you that. They get food and so forth going over there, and some of the food and the trailer and like that have been donated by local businesses. In a minute, I'll take a look at some of the prizes they'll be giving away. But let's see if we can find someone to interview. Got a Ski-Doo coming in. But I know there's a few people here that I wanted to catch for an interview. Got some nice modern sleds over here too, by the way. But, where are they? Oh, here we go. All right, we're going to try to catch up with Mark Bristol here. Yeah, we've got Lucas and Mark Bristol over here. Yeah, I think they're trying to get away. Hey, is this a good time for an interview? To talk up some of the sleds you guys brought?
Yeah, he'll do it. He's an interviewer.
Flip a coin.
He is. He's a good one. Not much of a public speaker.
No?
He is. He's a better public speaker.
Cool. This is father and son, by the way, Mark Bristol and Lucas Bristol. Cool, and they've got some beautiful sleds here today.
Want to talk about the presidential?
Yeah, let's go in on that one. Definitely, there's a great story on this. He was telling me about this earlier, and yeah, you're going to like this story.
So what they did for this model, this presidential model, they built them in '74 as a trial to see how they liked them. And only members of the presidential council got them. I think there's like 150. They're all 440s. And they had the red trim on them. So they made these to get feedback on the 75-year model. And it came back that they didn't like the red. They didn't think there's enough decals on them. So now you'll see the 75s have blue and black decals. There's no red at all.
I'm gonna get on started. A shadow on it. Oh, still am. There we go. Now, if we go back a little, the Presidential Council you're talking about, is that part of the organization at Snowjet that you're talking about? Okay. Yeah.
Snowjet. Yeah.
Oh yes. Continue. Yeah. Continue with the story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. I mean, they're free air. 440s. Nobody really knows how many was made, but I'm hearing like 166. I don't know.
That is very cool.
Yeah, so the red, you won't see them very often, the red.
Yeah, that's pretty rare to see. Very cool. Very cool. And then over here, we've got that sled that was raced by Steve Fenoff. You feel like talking that up? And
Luke knows more about that one than I do. I do know it one.
you don't want to come in?
No.
No? Okay.
Oh, there he is. That's something he knows more than I do. But Steve Fenoff raced it.
Yeah. Let's go in a little closer.
I think he actually won the Kilkenny Cup with him.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's about all I know, but it runs numerous races. We actually reunited. He reunited Steve in the sled here a year or so ago. Steve came over and brought his mechanic, and they verified that it was the one race by some welding that was done on inside the chain case. So that's how they identified it.
Wow, that must have been a moment when they pulled the chain case open and saw that weld.
I wasn't there, but I'm sure it was.
Yeah, that must have been something.
That's just how it was raced. There's nothing been done to it.
Just like you see it. That's amazing. And let's see what the plaque says. This is Steve Fenoff's race sled when he drove for Calkins Cat. He raced in the USSA division in '71, winning numerous races throughout the East. Yeah, he's a legendary racer for sure. And he was inducted into the Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame, I think, 2021, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's where they reunited Steve and the sled.
Yes, in front of Cranes. Yeah.
Crane.
Yeah, there's an image of that. In fact, I'll pop that on the screen when I edit this.
Yeah, I think there's a picture of the Kilkenny Cup with it as well.
Sweet.
But yeah, there's a lot of history there.
Yeah, there's some serious history sitting there, for sure. Then a little further down the line, you've got a Puma, right?
Oh, yeah. That one's a 71 Arctic Cat Puma Z, 292. And it's twin
Come a
carbs.
little closer for good audio. Come a little closer for good audio.
It's got dual carbs,
Yeah.
234 millimeter, crossover stinger pipes. It actually looks like a regular Puma until you open the hood. It's just different.
Wow.
They made 96 of them.
96.
96 total.
Real limited edition.
Yep.
Are we able to open the hood, or is that something
Sure.
that's
And the only thing you'll find Z on this on the name tag on the plate. That's the only place.
interesting?
So I think they were kind of trying to hide it a little bit.
Sure. The expression is the greater part of valor. Is that? Try to come around this side here. Sweet. So what are we looking at here?
So you got dual carbs there.
Yep.
Crossover pipes, stinger pipes. So it was actually made for racing.
Has it seen combat on the track? Or?
Not with me.
No. And
Nope.
how long have you had it?
I probably had it 4 or 5 years.
Sweet.
I actually found it in Maine.
Maine.
Yeah.
Nice.
It actually sounds really good too.
Sweet.
See if it starts.
Yeah. Let me back up a little. Give you some room here. Sure. That's all right. Oh, we're getting closer. Yeah, that's got an amazing sound to it, doesn't it? Gotta love that. Yeah, that's very cool, man. Very, very cool. Well, cool. Anything else we can think of to say about it? Or?
I think that's about it.
Yeah. Well, cool. I appreciate it, Mark.
Yeah, no problem. Nice talking to you.
Yeah. Oh, one last thing. Mark Bristol owns Performance Powder Coating. Do you feel like doing a shameless plug for your business?
Sure. We're in the Fairbanks Scale building in St. Johnsbury. We powder coat a lot of snowmobile parts too. I do a lot for my buddy Ray, who's sleds are right next to me. But yeah, we can do anything, any color. Yeah.
Nice. Do you want to show some of the parts on here that have been powder coated, just to give people a sense of what can be done?
I don't know if I've done any of I haven't done any on that.
Yeah, because this is fairly new to him.
Done the skis on this one.
Okay, yeah.
I'm thinking about it on this one.
Yeah.
This one's Ray just got this, so we haven't done enough of that.
Sure. Now, on your other sleds that are here, are there examples of things you powder coated?
There isn't.
Okay.
But I brought my drifter. I've done a lot on that one.
Yes.
But no, not really on that one.
Sure.
Because Luke's is unrestored.
Okay.
The snow jet's unrestored.
Sure. What are some of the common parts that a snowmobiler will send to you for powder coating?
Handlebars, skis, a lot of skis. Rab rail on the back. And things like that. Belt guards.
Sure.
That type of stuff.
And what is their intention with that? To give a protective coating or the appearance of it or both? Or both, yeah.
And it is better than paint. More durable. It's baked on. It's a baked on finish.
Sure. Much more durable.
Yeah.
Can withstand more abuse.
Right.
And it's a nice finished appearance too. A real smooth look.
It can be any color too as well. Many colors, candy colors. We can match about anything.
Nice.
Race car chassis, we do a lot of that.
Sure. And for people who may not be here in Newport, we're thinking maybe to ship something. People ship things to you and you ship them back,
sure.
powder coated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
And it's performance powder coating. St. Johnsbury, Vermont. Is there a good phone number in case someone wants to call you?
802-535-5096.
Wonderful.
We have Facebook and a website also.
So just look for performance powder coating,
Right.
St. Vermont, St. Johnsbury, Vermont.
Yeah. If you go to our Facebook page, you can actually go on there and fill out a form electronically, what you got, what you want done to it, and just send it to us.
And you can get back to him with a quote.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Cool deal.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I appreciate that, Mark.
All right. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and if you're viewing, Mark's a good friend of mine. He's a vintage snowmobile lover. And if you like vintage snowmobiles, he's the guy to send your parts to.
Yeah, we'll take care of it.
For sure. And if you do, tell him you saw him on the podcast, on the
Yeah,
Vintage
that would be
Snowmobile
great.
Podcast. Be sure to mention that. Cool deal.
All
Well,
right.
thank you. I appreciate it. Sure. So we got like an Everest coming in? No, it's Blizzard maybe. Yeah, I think it's a Blizzard. But the front end looks a little like an Everest too. I don't know.
One or the other.
Yeah. Cool deal. Well, cool. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can catch up with Reggie Field. He's right over there. I'm going to see if I can narrow him away from. Well, cool.
Yeah, get him.
Yes. Well, thank you, Mark. I
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
it.
Cool. Yeah. So thanks to my good friend Mark Bristol for that interview. What were your thoughts on that story about that SST, that snowjet?
Oh, that's the first time I heard that story. That's quite a different story.
Yeah, for sure.
Who owned Snowjet?
I don't remember. I know they were bought by Kawasaki eventually, but I don't know. Was it a Canadian company?
Don't know. I'm not sure. But that cat did sound good with those crossover pipes. That was
It
a
sure
different
did.
sound to it.
Definitely. And we're going to get a closer look at that a little later in the podcast, too. In fact, before we get to that, I wanted to pop that image of that SST because I know that
Yeah.
was kind of a grainy, that video was very grainy, and I apologize for that. But yeah, that's that SST right there.
Yeah. And you'd never know it was a limited edition slick race machine they were going to come out with.
Yeah,
It's one of their sleepers.
for sure. And then, of course, those RUPs we were just looking at, those are the same RUPs that were at the Lancaster show. Because those two guys are good friends, and the three of us are good friends as well. So we see each other at all the shows, and
Yeah.
which is real cool. And we're going to take a closer look. In fact, let me pop the card up, the menu. If you look at item number 5, Mark sent me some footage of him powder coating, or one of the people in his shop powder coating a tunnel for a Polaris TX, showing how they do that, which is really cool. And then item number 7, he's going to show us that Kawasaki drifter that has a lot of powder coated parts on it. And then we're going to take another closer look at that Puma, or that Lynx. I'm sorry, that Lynx. And it'll be much better quality of an image to look at. But we do have comments coming in. Okay. Oh, my good friend Mary Seguin's in the house tonight. Thank you, Mary. We'd love to hear engine sounds and differences between them. Yeah, excellent idea on that. And in fact, since we've got that queued up, let's play him starting that engine one last time here for Mary.
That's all right. Oh, we're getting closer.
Yeah, there you have it. I like how those stinger pipes make that crackling sound.
Yeah.
Very cool. Oh, and then David at Alaska Railroad says, I used to work at a powder coating company. He was the sandblaster. Cool deal. Cool deal. Well, yeah, let me remove this from the screen here and get back to where we need to be. We're on item number 4. Now, about a year ago, I did an interview with Charlie Valier. Now, Charlie is with the Top of the Lakes Snowmobile Museum in Nobbinway, Michigan, and we went on for over an hour. But I've got a clip tonight of that, just maybe like a 5-minute clip. Let's take a look at that and see what things are like over at the Top of the Lakes Snowmobile Museum in Nobbinway, Michigan.
Here's the 3 versions of the Raider. Raider was made down by Detroit,
Yeah.
Michigan. So they started with that in the 70s. Then they went to the Manta in the 80s. Then they actually made the Trail Roamer in 2001. Not very many Trail Roamers were sold. Few Mantas around, but Raider was their more popular one. So we have all 3 versions.
Now, that middle one, do I see Mario Andretti's name on there? Are my eyes playing tricks on me?
Yes. They, of course, right there it is.
Wow.
And that's Bob Bracey, the founder of these 3 versions. Everybody used Mario Andretti, for advertising. So in front of it, we also have Mario Andretti here too on an Artie Cat. So he was on a cat, but there he was on a Manta.
Nice.
A few other sleds too.
Very cool.
Here's another cool thing. It's a Finn Cat made in Sweden. I'll get into this story right here too. I see this on it. This sled here, as you can see, this snowmobile was gifted as Top Lake Snowmobile from Bombardier in Velcourt, Quebec. 3-4 years ago, Bombardier was redoing their museum to honor the man Bombardier. So what they did was they were looking for some place to get rid of the non-Bombardier product. There's another one right there. There's another one right there. Back on that story. Okay, so they were going to redoing their museum in Velcourt, Quebec. They were looking for somewhere to get rid of these 33 sleds. We emailed them and told them, yes, we'd be interested. They emailed back and said, sorry, we'd rather give them to somebody in Canada. So we kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
A year later, they emailed us back and said, want to know if we were still interested in these 33, the way they said it, unique sleds. So of course we said yes. We have a 10-person board here. Went to our board and we agreed to accept the 33 sleds. There is a contract written up about it. It was probably a 6-month contract, back and forth, but we got 33 sleds from Bombardier. They chose this museum to give 33 sleds to. So that's very cool. Yes, we're patting
That's an honor, yeah.
So what was the rest of that story? Anyway, we got 33 sleds from them. They're scattered throughout. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Some of these sleds we wouldn't be able to have, like this Finn Cat. It came from them. There's no way we'd be able to have that sled here if it wouldn't have been for Bombardier donated. And here's another kind of cool, this Okaba. We'd never be able to have something like that here, but another one.
Oh, yeah.
Part of the agreement was that anything that came from Bombardier had to have that symbol on the oval on the front of it. That's their wording and everything.
Sure.
They wanted, it's part of the contract we had.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's a cool tent made in down in Michigan by Lansing. It was called a Carefree. You pulled it on a sleigh. It was a pop-up. It all fit right inside of this. It folded up down just like a pop-up camper would be.
Wow. For ice fishing, probably?
For ice fishing or camping. We have the version. You can, we've got a mannequin and a little kid sitting there fishing.
Yeah.
So now we're back into so when we got the 33 sleds from Bombardier, we had to put on this addition So we actually called it the Bombardier Edition. So this was added on about 4 or 5 years ago.
Sure. Well,
In
cool.
the
Yeah. Thank you.
70s.
Thank you for Charlie for giving us a tour of that museum. And there's a whole hour of that. If you search on our YouTube channel, you'll find that. There are links to it in the description. But anything in there catch your eye, Rob?
Was that a twin track machine? It was hard to tell the front. It looked like 2 rubber tracks on it. That red one, the Bombardier.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's a kind of like a skid steered twin track kind of experience.
Yeah, it looks like 2 rubber tracks. There's no ski.
Yeah.
So it would have a brake. You hit a brake and it would turn.
Yeah, that must be kind of like a skid steer kind of an arrangement.
Yes.
Yeah, very interesting. That's definitely on my bucket list. I'd like to visit that museum at some point.
We're going there February 20th. We're going to be there.
Oh, yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
If you think of it, if you're able to swing your cell phone camera around and get a little footage of that, we'd love to see it.
You know what? That weekend, they closed the museum at 5 o'clock at night. And we're not done at the races till 6.
Oh, wow.
You think they keep it open till 9 o'clock at night for anybody leaving the races? They go to the museum, but
yeah, that's too bad.
So we're hoping to maybe get there Thursday in the afternoon before we set the booth up.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, that we can get in there and look around. And yeah, that's definitely something you'd want to see.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Our good friend Mark Sperandio. I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing that. He's saying welcome back from Connecticut. He's a regular viewer. And then James Whiteside is saying, hey guys, I'm just curious. Do you guys own newer sleds? And if you do, what model do you ride? I'll let you answer that first, Rob.
I like my vintage ones. My Arctic Cat EXT 550. That's my favorite machine to drive. It's a 1982. But when I go for trail runs a lot of times, I have a Skidoo, 670 Skidoo with 1999 because it has that arc suspension. And Skidoo didn't buy that rights. They went for the C10 instead, but I like the arc. And then I partner with another guy, and we got we call it Yamacat. It's Arctic Cat with the 4-cylinder in it, made by Yamaha, and that's what we ride. He goes to Florida for the winter now, so I guess I'm going to use that.
Yeah, nice.
But I like my old vintage. I have a bunch of Jags and other, and 340 SRX and 79 440 SRX. I like to play around with. I like my old stuff.
Nice. And as far as myself, I only have one sled. It's not modern or vintage. It's a 92 Ski-Doo Safari L with kind of the 2-up seat. And I just use it for yard riding.
Yep.
But,
and they showed a picture of Marilyn Andretti in the snowmobile there. Almost all the big racers love snowmobiling.
True, yes. And the Unsers.
The Unser families used to be the head people at Valcourt, Quebec. They all raced Ski-Doos, and one time Bobby Unser got lost out on a snowmobile for 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah. He was a big-time snowmobile. Tony Stewart, he was a big-time snowmobiler too.
Yeah, that's wild. Oh, and of course, Villeneuve. Yeah. He went from snowmobile racing to Formula One, and
yes,
and I think he had brothers and sons, nephews in it. And
yep.
I'm not sure quite exactly how that works, but yeah, that's a big racing family as well.
I raced against both of them when I raced.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Very cool. Any quick anecdotes about those experiences? Or
I still got scars on my leg from Villeneuve. No matter what he did, he went by you. Didn't matter if he run you over or not.
Sure. Driven to win.
Yeah, he won a lot of races.
Yeah.
A lot of races, yeah. I've seen them one time. He was on crutches. They carried him out and put him on his twin track machine. He couldn't walk. Both of his legs were bad. He carried him out, put him on his machine, and he still won the race.
That's impressive. That's the spirit.
Yeah.
That is the spirit. That is cool. Well, cool. So we are on item number 5, and as promised, we're going to take a look at some footage Mark Bristol sent me, and this is going to be of a Polaris TX tunnel being powder coated. So let's take a look. And I have to apologize. The audio on this is not the best.
Like what we got going on here is
Yeah, so thank you so much to Mark Bristol for that footage. We appreciate it. It's cool to see how that works. And I imagine once they finish spraying that, it goes into an oven for I don't know how long, but then it comes out with that hard protective baked on finish.
I like to hear how it's really hooked up because I heard it's positive, negative. So
Yes, I've heard that too.
so the machine's hooked up to a negative cable, and the gun is hooked up to a positive, and it's a powder that comes out, and it goes right in the pores of the metal. So that way, becomes part of the metal and doesn't really chip.
Yeah, you're right. As he's spraying it, it's attracted to it, almost like a magnetic
Yeah,
attraction.
yeah. And
It,
there's
it,
no
it gives that
overspray like you do with the paint gun and all that. But
yeah, it gives that tunnel a magnetic personality.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much to Mark. And on item number 7, we're going to take a look at that Kawasaki that's got a lot of powder coated parts on it. But I wanted to profile him tonight because he's a good friend. And if you're thinking about having parts powder coated, I do ask that you consider him because he's a good friend and he collects and restores vintage snowmobiles. So he understands what vintage snowmobile enthusiasts are thinking about, and he's definitely someone to consider. You can ship parts to him and call him on the phone. His number's on the screen, and discuss what you have in mind beforehand so you can get yourself on the same page. And yeah, he'd be happy to help you out.
Is his website on there?
I don't see it on this card here, but if you search for performance powder coating St. Johnsbury, Vermont, it'll come up.
Okay.
In fact, I was just on there today. We've got comments coming in. Let's look at some comments real quick. Okay, Reese Fleury, our mutual friend, says the Glastron Boat Company made Snowjet. Thank you for that information. Very cool. Oh, and my good friend Rick Simula says, outstanding. Thank you, Rick. I'm glad you're in the house tonight. Also, our good friends and regular viewers, Stacy and Art Fosler, said, that's cool. I'd like to do that to mine. Cool deal. Oh, and Dirk Seams says it would be more interesting to learn about powder coat painting. Seems like it's a magnetic process, but aluminum is not very magnetic as far as I know. Yeah, that's probably the case. Yeah. And I don't know how they do aluminum or if they can do aluminum. I'll have to ask Mark sometime and circle back with that. But yeah, so we are on item number 6. We're going to take a look at some footage that I got last summer at the 2022 VSCA National Vintage Snowmobile Show in Old Forge, New York. Let's get that queued up. And right here. Okay, so we are about to go into the main building. Look at this crazy race sled here. Now this belongs to Kevin Coombs from Manlius, New York. It's a 1995 ice drag. Quite the contact patch with that. I bet this thing hooks up. Look at all those studs and how long that track is. Big triple under there. Very impressive. Got some Polarises across the back. And we've got a celebration of Polaris over here. We've got sleds, of course. But there's all kinds of clothing. Clothing, hats. Oh, so these are the winnings this sled had in 1972. Grand total of $17,700. And that's in 1972 dollars. Very impressive. So these tables are a celebration of all things Polaris. Now who remembers these? That That's probably the best condition of all of them. Snow Glide, who remembers that? Polaris watches. This is, I think, from the early 60s. Oh no, 1958. Polaris Snow Traveler. That's an early sled right there. Got a modern cat. Cool.
I think it's looking good. Oh, and everybody wants to leave right there. It'll be a plus. All you can do is hopefully they're here.
They probably talk.
So you're part of this guys that are
I can go out there.
Hey dog, how you doing, baby? An early husky. A tiger. I've seen images of these. I don't know that I've ever seen one in person. Interesting the way that steering is set up. This is a 1970 Tiger, owned by Pierre Pellerin. He's up in Quebec. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one of these in person. I have seen images of them. Go cat. Now check this out. We've got a turntable in here with a little skipper. Trying to get a good look at it. A lot of images of early experiments with the snowmobile. So yeah, Old Forge, New York, last June, I think it was, late last June. Anything catch your eye in there, Rob?
That skipper had a good display. All those little squares had all the pictures of vintage, different kinds of snowmobiles.
Yeah.
And there was hundreds of them on there. I'd never heard of a skipper before.
Yeah.
Skipper was the brand name or the model?
It's funny you ask, because there's a guy I met at Cranes 3 or 4 years ago, and he had a whole row of them, and he gave me a nice presentation, kind of an interview about the little skipper, where they were made, the origins, what the backstory was on it, and I'll have to dig that up and play that on a future episode. Maybe next time we do this podcast, I'll have that ready, because that was really interesting. He gave a great little backstory on it. I think they were either made in New Hampshire or Connecticut. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. But it was about the same time they were doing the kitty cats, and I think I don't know which came first. But he tells that story of, which came first and, how it all came to be. I'll have to find that.
That was a good looking display he had.
That
And I
was
like
really,
I
really
like the player's idea with the old outfits and everything that goes along with all the stuff. That's hard to find, some of that old clothing and stuff like that.
It is. I'm trying to get back to that. All that whole table with all that stuff, all watches and playing cards and goggles and oils and
Players people remind me of John Deere people. John
Sure.
Deere people actually wear John Deere underwear.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, and we've got David Alaska Railroad saying, I need that turntable for my TXL. Yeah,
Yes,
for
it would
sure.
look good on a turntable.
That would look amazing in there.
It'll look better on the track, the TXL, you know.
Yes.
They were good oval racers.
Yes. Oh, and so actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. So we're on item number 7. We're going to take a look at those sleds from Mark Bristol, but I meant to show these images during the powder coated. This is a Snowjet Thunderjet project he's got going on, and this is of course the powder coated tunnel and the chassis and everything that they did there at their shop, and
Nice.
skis and random parts, and another angle looking at that tunnel.
Nice job.
Yeah, they do really good work. And let me pull up that clip here. We're going to take a second look at that Arctic Cat Z that he had, as well as that Kawasaki that's got a whole lot of powder coated parts on it. Let's take a look.
Mark Bristol, I'm from Kirby, Vermont. We're at Phil Bell's place in Bethlehem, New Hampshire at the Snowmobile Show. And this here is my 71 Arctic Cat Z. Has a Kawasaki 292 engine, dual carbs, crossover stingers, and it's made for racing. The beauty part is it's been fully restored, and they only made 96 of them.
96.
So this is one out of the 96. Who knows how many are left?
Yeah.
And underneath, got the dual carb cat pack on, crossover stinger pipes, aluminum chassis for lightweight.
Yeah.
It only comes with a tack, no speedometer. That's all been re-chromed, seats, everything's been redone on this thing. Every nut and bolt.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's nice. And cool. What do we got over here?
This one here's I just finished this one up. It's a 1980 Kawasaki Drifter, free air, 1-year sled. And originally it was blue, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to just do it a Kawasaki green.
Yeah.
Put some grips on it and customize the seat.
Yeah, I like those pinstripes.
It was actually a fun project. I mean, most of it's powder coated, all the steel. Handlebars are powder coated, skis are powder coated. Most of it in here is powder coated. Anything that's steel, belt guard, air breather cover, high temp black on the muffler, hood hinge. So this thing is totally taken apart. Every nut and bolt. Either the stainless hardware on it or we've powder coated it.
And you're a powder coater by day, if I understand.
Yes, I am.
Cool. If you want to do a shameless plug on that.
Oh yeah, Performance Powder Coating, located in St. Johnsbury, Vermont. We do a lot. Anything metal can be powder coated, and it comes in many textures, colors, you name it, we can do it, as long as it's metal.
Nice.
And our oven is 8x8 by 15, so we can do like race car chassis and stuff like that.
Wonderful.
I think we're one of the biggest ovens in the state.
Yeah. And if somebody's thinking about maybe shipping snowmobile parts to you for powder coating, can you accommodate somebody like that?
We can do that. We've
Nice.
done that before.
Yeah, nice. So that's a common thing for you.
We've actually, the furthest we've shipped was somewhere in Greenland.
Yeah.
It wasn't snowmobile parts, but it was a part that was built locally and had to go there.
Sure. And what are some of the typical parts that they'll send you for powder coating?
Well, some of the cool stuff is we actually restored the a scale for the University of Oregon Ducks, and in
Oh, wow.
Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
So they sent it to us. We restored it, sent it back.
Nice.
Lawn furniture, we do that. Steam radiators,
Yeah.
we do hundreds of them.
Nice.
But you don't get any runs or anything like that, so
Yeah.
it does come out good. You can go to our Facebook page or our website. You'll see all kinds of photos and
Yeah.
what we're all about.
Nice. And as far as snowmobile parts, what are some of the typical parts off a snowmobile somebody would send you?
Handlebars, skis, anything metal, belt guards, anything like that. And they'll look new when we're done.
Yeah. And it gives it a nice protective finish.
Right, it's baked on. And we do have a chrome powder coat too, which people do handlebars in.
Yeah. Gives a nice chrome looking finish
It
and
does.
protective coating.
Yep. I mean, it's not chrome, but it's the next best thing.
Yeah. Good deal. Well, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. So thank you so much to Mark. I wanted to give it a shout out to him, profile his business a little bit because he's a good friend and he does excellent work. And like I said, he collects snowmobiles, he restores snowmobiles, so he gets the whole, vintage snowmobile experience. So if you've got vintage snowmobile parts that you're thinking about having powder coated, he's a guy to call. And we appreciate you considering that. If you do reach out to him, be sure and mention that you saw him on the podcast. I want him to know that that this came about from this podcast. And we do have some comments coming in. My good friend John Springer Jr. says, another awesome show. Said Mike gets fired up for the snow season. Gets us fired up. Okay, cool deal. Cool deal. And then also our friend Dirk Seams says, thanks for the great show, Mike. Appreciate that. And then our mutual friend Reese Fleury says, great show, guys. See you next week. Absolutely. In fact, I have to say something about that. I'm going to be traveling here the next couple of weeks, so I'm going to be doing replays, but not to worry at all. There'll be something in this time slot coming up next week, so not to worry. There'll be something here for you when you tune in. But I hope to be back here beginning of November for some new episodes. Any final thoughts, Rob, before we wrap it up?
I'm just looking at all of his powder coat and stuff. He's got some neat stuff on that page, he powder coats.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it's a good site to see. Look up what he's done and what's available to do. Yeah, somebody's gas can for the back of a Jeep, and yeah, lots of stuff.
Nice.
Good show and great snowmobiles on there tonight, Mike. It's nice to see stuff that I've never seen before.
For sure, and I'll try to get that little skipper presentation that we were talking about, because that was interesting. He did a great job talking those up. Oh, and we've got another comment come in. Let's see. Yes, David from Alaska Railroad says, great show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, David, by the way, I don't know if you had a chance to see the Muscle Car podcast from last night, but we had a Monte Carlo on there that you want to take a look at. So if you haven't, definitely circle back and check out that episode. I think you'll get a kick out of it. But, well, cool. This concludes our broadcast day. Thank you so much, Rob, for coming on. We appreciate it. And thank you to the viewers as well.
Have a good holiday. And if anybody's at the Snowmobile show, stop in and say hi to me.
Yes, that's right. Give another shameless plug for that show, if you would, that Toronto show.
It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 21st, 22nd. It's on from 9 in the morning till like 8 o'clock at night. It's the biggest international show in Toronto. Snowmobiles and ATVs, new stuff, vintage stuff, and all the different race programs are also there. It's a great show. Fun time.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're in the area, be sure and check that out. And if you do check it out, make sure and find Rob. He's got a big Amsoil display there. Be sure and look him up and say hello and tell him you know him from the podcast.
Yes. Good to see you there.
Cool deal. All right.
Have a good holiday, Mike.
And you as well. Thank you so much. And as always, the last word goes to Amsoil. Have a good one, everybody.
Catch you later.
Hello, everyone. This is Rob and Mike. How you doing today, Rob?
I'm doing good. Mike, yourself?
Very well. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Now, today, we're going to be talking about Amsoil. And in a few moments, we're going to show you how you can get the deepest discounts, free shipping, and free gifts when you order your Amsoil products through us. But first, I'm going to ask Rob to give you a quick description of what Amsoil is and why you should consider using Amsoil products in your motorized vehicles.
Thanks, Mike. Amsoil is 100% synthetic oil. Everybody uses Amsoil for a different reason. Some people like the benefits that Amsoil is warranted for 25,000 miles or 1 year. The reason we can do that is because Amsoil doesn't oxidize. It doesn't form the usual carbons, gums, sludges like petroleum oils do. That's why we can keep it in the engines longer. Petroleum oils never do wear out. They oxidize themselves. That's why they have to be changed at 3,000 kilometers. And Amsoil likes the benefit that you only have to change the oil once a year. That saves them money. Some of the people like the benefit of Amsoil is it's a slipperier type lube. By having a slipperier type lube, it cuts down friction and drag. By less friction and drag, engines run 20 to 50 degrees cooler, better gas mileage. Now, Amsoil says 25% more protection than the industry requires is in the Amsoil bottles. My average customer gets about 10% increase in gas mileage. That's a big savings.
Yeah.
And by cutting down friction and drag, for every 10 degrees you cut down the friction and drag, doubles the life of the engine. So by having the engine run cooler, it makes it last longer. Some people like the benefit of the range of the Amsoil. Amsoil's flash point is 425 degrees, and it pours at 50 below zero.
Wow.
If you ever try petroleum oil when it's 10 below, it turns to honey. And in the summertime, petroleum oil thins out. And once it thins out, that's when it starts breaking down. So Amsol's an all-season oil, can give you better gas mileage, longer engine life, less maintenance. It ends up being cheaper over a year's time running Amsol than it is petroleum oils.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And Amsol is available for pretty much any motorized vehicle, anything from lawn equipment, cars, trucks, boats, ATVs, motorcycles, snowmobiles.
Yep. And a lot of people phone me up and say, well, what's the benefit of our gear loop? Exactly what I told you about the engine oil. It pours in cold weather, it runs cooler, makes the equipment last longer. And they say, well, what's the benefit of the small engine? Same thing. Makes the engine run cooler, last longer, better performance. So it saves on all the applications that Amsol has available.
Wonderful, wonderful. So yeah, let's talk now. Hopefully this has convinced people to think about maybe joining us in the Amsol experience. Let's talk about some of the discounts and free shipping and how that all happens. I'm going to pop a graphic on the screen. And yeah, by all means, if you want to talk people through how this preferred customer program works.
Amsol has a number of different programs. One of our main ones is a catalog customer, where somebody can order directly out of our catalog. If they order out of the catalog, they order $100 worth, Amsol will ship it right to their house. But our best program is our preferred customer. For only $10 for 6 months, you become a preferred customer, you save 25% on all the product. You order $100 worth, they're going to give you free shipping. You don't have to order a whole case. You can mix and match. Say you want 4 bottles of small engine, 7 bottles of 5W30, and a couple of gear loops. You can mix and match. You can order 1 bottle at a time if you want. There's no minimums, no maximums. By being a preferred customer, you save over 25% on all the products you're going to buy. Amsol sends you extra gifts, a $5 gift certificate on your birthday, $5 when you renew your account, and stuff like that. So it's a good way to save on some of the products you want to buy.
For sure. Yeah, it's an incredible value. And this is the deepest level of discount that anyone can get when ordering Amsol. Is that correct?
It is.
Wonderful. So let's take people through the step-by-step experience of placing an Amsol order. Then that would include signing up for the preferred customer preferred customer program, so they can receive those deepest levels of discount. So let's go to the website. This is what the website's going to look like. These are some screenshots. Once you go to amsoil.com, there's a link in the description, or you can just type that into a browser, amsoil.com. This is the page you land on. At the upper corner of the page there, you see how I've circled in red. That is the link to click, the Join Now link. That will take you to the Preferred Customer Program page, where you can take advantage of all of these discounts and free shipping and everything that we've just been talking about. This is what that page looks like. In the lower right, you're going to click Join Now. This will pop up. You select the duration you'd like, whether it's 6 months or 12 months, and click Add to Cart. Now, once this pop-up goes away, you'll be back on the main page. And the upper left, you'll see where I've got that red arrow. It says Shop. Now you can start shopping for products, and on your very first order, you're going to get these discounts and the free shipping as long as it's over $100. You'll get all of these benefits right away. So once you click Shop, it's going to take you to the product page. There's different types of oils, lubricants, so on and so forth. For the benefit of this exercise we're doing now, I'm just going to click motor oil. It shows different types of motor oil. Let's click gasoline. Now this takes us to an item. It's their synthetic motor oil. And you can see the item there, and there's choices for different viscosities. But take a look at the price. Let's take a closer look. Let's zoom in. But if you've joined the preferred customer program first, you're going to automatically get the deepest levels of discount. That's what we're looking at here. You're saving $3.80 on that quart of oil. Instead of paying $16.29, you're now paying $12.49 for that quart of oil. That is the deepest level of discount you can possibly get. And then you just add the quantity that you'd like. You select any other items that you're thinking about, add them to the cart. And once you click Add to Cart for the final time, you're going to see this come up at the top of the screen. It's going to show your items and your the total that you're at so far. Pardon me. And then you just click View Cart in the upper right, and that'll take you to your cart. Take a close look here at the upper right. That blue box shows that you're getting free shipping. You're eligible for free shipping on this order because it's over $100. That little yellow box shows that you've got the preferred customer membership on your order that gives you the deepest levels of discounts for the next 6 to 12 months. And then below that, you've got the items that have been selected. For the exercise here, I selected 9 quarts of the Signature Series, but that brings us up over $100 for the free shipping. We're saving $34.20. And if you're ready to finish, you click Checkout Now, and that takes you to this screen here. If you haven't signed up with an Amsol account at this point, just click in the lower right to create an account, create a new account. It's going to ask you for some basic information, name and those types of things. Now let's take a closer look. You'll see this gray shaded box. This is a very important box. This is going to ask you if someone has referred you to Amsol. And if so, please enter my name. My name is Mike LaPierre. It's spelled right there on the screen for the correct spelling. And also the referral number, 304-555-94. That's how you make sure that Rob and I get credit for this. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I have signed up for AMSOIL under Rob. So when you order using this referral number, Rob and I both benefit. So if you enjoy these podcasts that we're doing, this is a wonderful way to support the podcast, because when you order using this referral number, Rob and I both benefit. And the commissions I make go directly toward offsetting the cost of doing these podcasts. So I thank you in advance for that, for using my referral number. I very much appreciate it. And once you've done that, you just go into the next screen to enter your payment information, and you're done. Now, once you've placed your order that's over $100, and that order includes your AMSOIL Preferred Customer Program, you are now eligible to get a free DVD from myself. Now, this is going to be either a muscle car DVD or a vintage snowmobile DVD. Use the email address on the screen, wkspodcasts@gmail.com. Send me an email. Let me know which DVD you would like me to send you, the muscle car or the vintage snowmobile DVD, and I'll get that right out to you. As you're typing in that email, in the subject line, be sure and type in capital letters, free DVD requests, so it stands out as I'm checking my email, and we'll get that right out to you. So I guess the last thing, Rob, that we wanted to talk about is if someone is considering AMSOIL as a business opportunity.
Yes. If anybody has a retail or a commercial account and they would like to buy directly from AMSOIL, just send Mike a line. He'll show you how to set up, and you can buy directly from AMSOIL. But if you are interested in starting your own part-time business, a part-time business that can grow into a full-time income, Mike and I will show you the AMSOIL marketing plan. AMSOIL has a large selection of products that cover almost every application. So it doesn't matter if you're into snowmobile, boating, or ATVing, or hot rods. We have an oil for every application. It's a fun type business that's I really enjoy doing. Where else can I go and have fun and make money doing it? And Mike and I are here to help you all the way along. If you need any help on how to promote or to find new accounts, we're here to help you.
For sure. So when you sign up under that number, this 304-555-94, you're getting Rob and I as a team. Now, Rob has been doing AMSOIL for 40 years. Can you believe that? 40 years. So he knows every aspect of this business, and he knows all of the ins and outs of the products. So he'll be able to help you with any kind of product questions or any kind of questions to show you the different business models that you can do with AMSOIL. And then the other thing that you get when you sign up under me is I've got a strong background in social media. So if you need some coaching on how to generate AMSOIL leads using Facebook and YouTube, I'm happy to coach you with that when you sign up under Rob and I. You get both of us as a team to help you, to coach you, to support you, whatever you need to get you off and running with this business and having fun with it. Like Rob said, it's an enormous amount of fun. If you're like Rob and I and you enjoy going to any kind of boat shows, car shows, motorcycle shows, snowmobile shows, anything with a motor, you like going to those shows, those events, those races, this is a great way to turn that into a income opportunity for you.
Yes. And just by wearing my AMSOIL hat at one of these events, people come up and ask me about AMSOIL. People don't know where to buy it, and I'm there to help them, show them where they can buy the product.
Perfect. Well, cool. Well, this is great. Any final thoughts, Rob, before we wrap it up?
AMSOIL's a fun business. AMSOIL's been around since 1968. It was the first synthetic oil to be AI approved.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And that's very early in the game too, isn't it?
Yes.
For sure. Well, good. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for viewing. Hopefully, we've gotten you excited as we are about the AMSOIL products. We'd love it if you could join us either as someone who uses the AMSOIL products or to join the AMSOIL team as a business opportunity. And we thank you so much for viewing. Have a great day.
You have a good day.